called the Entrepreneur Source, and it puts people in franchises, and he's here to share with us his good news.
Thanks, Jeff. You're welcome. And it's good to be back with all of you. I applaud you for coming out Thanksgiving week, and I noticed that some of you maybe even headed out of town. I want to share with you tonight just some ideas, some possibilities. You know, I know that you guys are exploring different options. Many of you are probably actively pursuing the job market, and that's good. It is a lousy market out there, I know, it has been for a while. Share with you a little bit about my background. I spent some 20 years in the corporate world, a lot of it in the human resources roles, and it was in the it was the Friday before Labor Day of 1997, living in Jacksonville, Florida. I worked in the human resources group at Barnett Bank, which was the largest Florida-based bank at the time. See some nodding heads, remember Barnett Bank. And I remember distinctly walking down the end of my driveway on that Friday morning, about 5 a.m., as I did every morning, pick up the morning newspaper, open it up to read Nations Bank to buy Barnett Bank. And that's when I knew that my career, my life was going to change. And I got on the internet that weekend, or what passed for the internet at that time, and started looking up some things, possibilities, because I'd long had an idea of wanting to have a business of my own, but I wasn't sure what or how. And I remember, and I tell this story often people, I distinctly remember I was looking at things like Sylvan Learning Center, because I had young kids at the time. I thought something in the education field might be kind of neat. I looked at Schlotsky's Deli, because I love their sandwiches, liked eating there. And then I'd also heard I'd seen Subway sandwiches was on some list of fast-growing franchises. So I looked those up, and I was just kind of exploring about what I could do. And I quit that search rather abruptly, because I asked myself, what are you doing? You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know how risky this is. You don't even know what questions to ask. So I shelved those plans and took what seemed like the easy road at the time. Nations Bank, became Bank of America, offered me opportunity to move up here to Charlotte. So moved the family up here from Jacksonville, Florida in the summer of 1998. Stayed with what became the new Bank of America for another 3 years. And then I got the invitation to join the bank's alumni club. as many of you may have received such an invitation from your former employer. And it was an invitation I was actually looking forward to, actually, because after 3 years in that environment, it was a different environment than the Barnett Bank days, and one that didn't fit me very well. And I was glad to take the package and go do something else. This time, I said I was going to take a more disciplined approach to exploring business ownership. Just long had that desire to do something on my own, but again, I didn't know what or how. So I began taking people out to lunch, meeting people for coffee, people I knew who were self-employed, whether in a franchise or an independent consultant or they own some other kind of business. Just taking their brain, asking questions. What is it really like? How did you get into this business? Why this business? What lessons have you learned? What should I be asking to understand whether it is something that's a good fit for me? Long story, coming to shortening it here abruptly, is that I found this business that I'm in now, the Entrepreneur Source. And ironically, it's in the business of helping and advising people who are exploring business ownership. So I've been doing this for more than 7 years now in the greater Charlotte area, as well as I help people nationally. And so I welcome the opportunity to come and talk with people who are in transition, because I've been there before. And it's painful, it's scary, and it's a challenging time today. I want to share with you a little bit about the possibilities, because I think a lot of people fail to pursue their dreams, their goals of being independent in their career, because again, they have that fear of the unknown. Often they just don't know, like same with me, I didn't even know what questions to ask. Charlotte, by the way, is a real hotbed for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur Magazine ranks Charlotte and Raleigh in the top 3 cities in the nation for entrepreneurs. Phoenix was the other one. because of this, the cultural environment, the economic environment, the education around here, it's just a real hotbed for people who want to become entrepreneurs and step out on their own. There's really, when it comes down to self-employment, there's really three main options. You can start an independent business, starting something up from scratch. You could purchase an existing business, or you could take the franchise route. And I want to spend a little more time on the franchise route, but I think it's fair to kind of put it into perspective to talk about all three, because there's pros and cons to all of them. Starting an independent business, it's probably the route that most people take. A lot of challenges there, probably the highest failure rate. 90% of independent businesses fail within the first 10 years. To be successful, probably your number one challenge you have to overcome is marketing. Letting the world know you exist. Letting the world know why you exist and what you can do for them. Second major challenge for someone starting an independent business is often they tend to underestimate how much money it's going to take and or how long it's going to take to make money. Why do you think they tend to underestimate their capital? What's that?
They don't have enough money.
Well, they don't have enough money, but they tend to underestimate what they're going to need also.
That's why they underestimate.
And often they're just overly optimistic. Entrepreneurs just tend to be that way, just overly optimistic. You probably met something like that. I think also like independent business owners right now, they tend to underestimate their capital needs because, well, they don't have any good precedent or model to guide them. You know, they don't have anyone to learn from. So they're kind of guessing what it might take. And probably the biggest challenge for many independent business owners, again we're talking about someone who's just starting something from scratch, is they don't have a good process or a system. Any of you been in the IT world? We don't have any former IT folks here. Now that's surprising me. We always come across a lot of IT folks. Any engineers? There we go, that's an engineer. Okay, there's the hot thing. Well, you know as an engineer, you know what the process is. It's just a way of doing something that allows you to do it efficiently, repetitively, and even allows you then to entrust someone else to do it. So you don't have to do it all yourself. Many independent business owners lack a process. They lack a system. They're kind of making it up as they go. And usually, because they end up doing it all themselves, they end up burning out in business. So those are some of the challenges of starting an independent business. Another option for many people is to buy an existing business. And I think that's an option that's overlooked by a lot of people. You can go online, you can go to the newspaper, the classified ads, you can talk to business brokers. And in today's market, you can buy some businesses at some fairly attractive prices. Now, they may not be making much money, but you can buy some attractive businesses. So it's a way of getting into business instantly. Could already have customers, could already have cash flow. If it is a profitable business in today's economy, it may be your more expensive option. Anyway, if you want to put it in perspective, starting a business from scratch, buying an existing business. The third option is the franchise. And that's what I tend to work with a lot of people. I'm just helping them explore whether that's a good option for them or not. A franchise is essentially a way of doing business in which they've already defined the system, the process, a repeatable, efficient way of running that business. And they train you on how to run that business. Okay? So it's your business, but you've got something that already has a structure to it, a system, a way of going about it. They're going to train you on how to run that business. They're going to provide you ongoing support also after you've opened up your doors. So often they're at least a phone call away, if not able to come on site and actually work with you.